It is Monday, April the 1st, 2024. I am James. You are you. We are here on this monumental April Fools. To all of the fools out there, I wish you nothing but the best. For those who happen to be observing today on this first of the fourth month. Did you pull any pranks? Did you pull anyone's pants down today and scream April Fools into their exposed bare butt? If you did, then this is the day that you have been waiting for. I, on the other hand, I feel just a little forlorn today, a bit dismayed, because today marks the first episode 478, may I add. First episode in 4 weeks in which we are not discussing nerds. In the month of March, it was our version of March Madness, where we systematically picked apart 16 different nerd subsets, culminating in the finals last week, before we kick it into high gear tonight to celebrate April Fool's Day, which, I may add one more time, I believe to be the first of its kind over the course of 478 episodes, but I digress. I would like to bring in someone who is along for the ride for the entirety of Nerd March Madness. Let's please welcome the one and the only, the co-host, the co-pilot, but to me, and dare I say to you, the side piece, Dave Kaufman. Let's get Dave in here.
Hey, James,
Dave,
how's it going?
well, I feel a little bit lost tonight. I'll say it. I feel a little bit lost.
Oh, yeah, I'm a bit angry at you, James.
You're angry at me?
Yeah, real.
Okay, so I'm feeling dismayed and you're feeling angry. Why is that, Dave?
April Fools.
Oh, you got me. And you didn't even have to pull my pants down and shout into my bare butt.
Yeah. Too bad, though, because I was
What?
looking forward to that.
I was around you all afternoon and I kept a very keen eye. Essentially, I had eyes in the back of my head because I know that's your big April Fool's prank.
Yeah, I'm known for assault. I guess.
Yeah, I suppose. Well, back in the day, it wasn't. You could just pants people willy-nilly.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
used to be able
like,
to do that.
I like that you're wiping your camera down on air.
I notice I have sort of a Michael Bay lens flare going on right now, and I feel
right.
like that has to do with dirt on my camera.
All right, well, let's get into, now that we've gotten your April Fool's prank, yeah, just to clean it up live
How's
on
that?
the air.
How's that?
I think it somehow made it maybe worse.
Yeah, it did make it worse, didn't it?
You look better before.
Well, I'm not using a
Is
license.
this another April Fool's prank?
I wish, James, but no, my camera really is dirty.
Dave, how do you feel about the fact that Nerd March Madness is over?
James, I'm not sad that it's over. I'm happy that it happened.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now, on purpose, I was tight-lipped about last week's winner, so we'll say it. LARPers won.
Yeah.
And I feel like last week I was made a fool of, because on no level do I think LARPers should have at any point defeated bronies and, to a lesser extent, weebs. You were part of the votes that sent both of those to the elimination zone.
Sure, yeah. But that's the thing about these kind of competitions, James. You never know who's going to win.
It's true.
If you
It's
knew
true.
going in who was going to win a March Madness style competition, then why watch it at all?
All right. It's just tonight I'm feeling like a bit of an April Fool myself.
What? Sure. Well, maybe.
And now I'm a two-time April Fool because you got me. You said you were mad at me.
You're a bit of a nerd, I guess.
How would you like to define that?
Someone whose passion is nerdy about other kinds of nerds.
Well, I wouldn't say that I'm nerdy about their passion.
Well, it seems like you're gatekeeping who's the nerdiest nerd right now.
Which was, of course, one of your criterias.
Well, it's one of the main criteria of being a nerd. It's when you can.
Well, it was one of your main criteria.
One of my main criteria. It's when
as
you can't.
I argued with Marlena more about over the course of the episodes, everyone was entitled to their own criteria. And the fact that she was so angry about other people's criteria, I found to be nerdy.
Sure, yeah. I agree with that.
Nerds love rules.
Yeah. And you have a lot of rules as to what makes someone nerdy.
Well, no, I have criteria.
Sure,
I
criteria.
have criteria.
Very different than rules.
My criteria is very simple. It's people that make you go, ugh.
Yeah, okay.
Well, it's April Fool's Day today,
Sure.
and we've got a huge panel, a first of its kind. Before we get into it, let's welcome tonight's panelists, legends of the show. Let's welcome Annabelle Agnew and Marilyn. Spill the tea to the program. Marilyn, how'd you like that intro? First of its kind.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
That could be a segment you do on the show. Let's spill the tea with Marilyn T.
Oh.
It also sounds like it could be on like E-Talk Daily.
Yeah, I like it.
Now, Annabelle, when I was consulting with Dave earlier today and we decided on the episode, I said, well, I have to message Annabelle immediately because tonight is one of your either greatest enjoyments or greatest fears in At Home. You're already rattled by this. You're mad at me on some level.
Oh.
For I can't even remember how many times it is that you're encountering this. It is another Wheel episode, and tonight, for the first time ever, is the Wheel of Foolishness. This would have been a great moment for like a sound clip, I think, like a lightning bolt or something. Yeah, Annabelle, let's go to you.
Wheel of Foolishness.
Yeah.
It didn't even dawn on me about why it was called the Wheel of Foolishness until you started talking with the show open. And I was like, oh, right. It's April Fool's. Like, I didn't even.
Okay, you were not April Fool's today.
No. Well, I was, but still didn't click to me. This is why the wheel is bad.
Okay, got it. All right, already bad vibes. Marilyn, were you the victim of an April Fool's joke today?
I don't think so, because I did not exit my apartment. Now, maybe later I will see that, I don't know, somebody TP'd my door or something. That would be interesting.
Well, Dave is already hot to trot. He's gotten me once already, and the show's only about 15 minutes old. His big joke was pretending that he was mad at me.
I got you, James.
Hey, you did get me, yeah.
I'm not mad at you.
There's at times some contention between you and I on the show.
Sure, and that's what made my prank so good.
It's very true. Okay, well, you better watch out. I might get you back. Again, tonight is the Wheel of Foolishness to celebrate April Fools, which means the wheel has been populated with April Fools and general foolish-themed topics. Before we dive right in, Marilyn, would you say that you're known to be, from time to time, a bit of a fool?
Well, I don't know. Like, I mean, there's the difference between being a fool and being foolish.
Well, Miss T is known for pitying fools.
What does that mean? What do you mean?
Oh, nothing.
Come on, Dave, explain your reference.
Well, you see, there's a famous celebrity, Mr. T.
Yes.
And he had a famous catchphrase. I pity the fool. Now, you're Miss T.
Yeah.
And so I figured maybe you'd have a similar catchphrase.
That's quite good, Dave. Thank you for that, because I didn't know it. So I like it. But I like to mess around. I don't think I want to be a fool. Sometimes I'm foolish because foolish, like you're a bit trusting, right?
Interesting.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that sometimes. Like, I want to believe sometimes some stupid stuff, especially like coming from friends. Like, I'm okay with being foolish sometimes. You know what I mean?
All right. Okay, Annabelle, moments of foolishness. Would you consider yourself a bit of a fool? A nutter?
Yes.
All right. Dave, let's go to you. We'll wrap it up with you.
I like to consider myself to be a sharp and with it guy.
Well, that wasn't the question.
So I don't like the idea of me being fooled by anything. But
right.
It has happened that I have been fooled.
Well, I've been known to fool you.
You fooled me.
Many times.
Sure, a couple of times.
Yeah.
Once or twice.
Regularly you ask, am I actually mad at you when I'm not?
Well, that's a great prank.
Yeah, well, I guess you've learned from the best. Let's get into it, Dave. Let's get the Wheel of Foolishness on the screen.
All right.
We've got a variety of topics. Will we get through them with time remaining? Well, we'll see. It all depends on how much conversation is inspired by all these topics. Dave, let's spin the wheel of foolishness.
Here we go.
Now, for the
I'll say
people
the
watching-
thing out loud.
Sure. For the people watching, you'll notice that we never refurbish the wheel. It's always the same wheel.
Pranks.
We have landed on pranks.
I think
which
it's
feels-
backwards in the shot for some reason. I'm gonna.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, the shot is backwards. So if you're reading it, or rather you are incapable of reading it, for some reason the image has not been mirrored. We've landed on pranks, which feels appropriate today, being the 1st of April. Annabelle, let's go to you. Have you been the victim of any April Fool's pranks in general? Have you committed any pranks that you'd like to come clean about?
Yeah, I used to commit pranks on my mother all the time growing up.
Mothers are great targets for pranks.
Yeah, and I have some good ones that I definitely did to her.
Well, let's hear it. Now, do you think she's watching right now?
No, she's not
Okay.
watching.
All right.
I have a question. Before you tell these, are you concerned that we're gonna be horrified, or are they generally fairly kind-spirited?
Yeah, you didn't put like fire ants in her underwear drawer, did you?
No, nothing like that. No, really simple prank.
You didn't change
All
her
right.
shampoo with Nair.
No, nothing like that. That would be terrible. It'd be awful.
Okay.
Do you want me to tell the worst one, or like the worst one sort of on that level, maybe? I don't know.
I would love nothing more.
Okay, well, the worst was I came in from babysitting one night and she was in the bathroom getting ready for bed. And I went into her room and I just stood behind the door. I don't even know if that's a prank, if it's just scaring her, but
That's the worst one?
no, but what happened
You've
is
committed a prank that literally every person walking the earth has committed, a jump scare prank.
Does she have a
I
heart
was
condition?
like, I thought it was gonna be like you put like something in the bathtub or something. It's like I scared her from behind the door.
Yeah, but what happened is that she just turned off the light in the bathroom, then went into her bedroom and crawled into bed, and the whole house was dark. So I'm just standing behind this door,
Okay, it's more
realizing,
unsettling. Yeah,
that now I'm really going to scare her. Like, it's not just a jump scare; it's like a real terrifying situation
yeah.
where she's got a bat beside her bed, and I know that I can't
Okay.
like leave behind the door.
Okay,
without making some kind of noise.
I will say
Yeah.
you did upgrade the story. I will concede.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so then I went for it and I went like, wow, like that, just like real creepy noise, and I really got her.
All
She
right,
almost
you
killed
really
me.
got her. Marilyn, how about you? Have you committed any pranks, April Fool's Day jokes?
Or felonies?
Yeah.
Well, that, if I can say that, because I really have never, I can't recall any pranks or jokes, but I've been known to be a bit of a klepto for stupid things. Like, I have stolen a Dairy Queen garbage can, but I don't know if you ever saw those. They're massive. They are so big. So, but this is kind of, I've done foolish stuff. So that is one thing that
I guess you committed a prank on why did you take the garbage can? You were like,
Was it full of garbage?
No. What?
Was it full of garbage?
No, we emptied it, or maybe it was already empty. But
Do
yeah,
you still have it?
I do.
Can you go get it?
What? Like, it's massive. Like, 2 people can fit in there.
All right, fair enough. I don't want to know what you're doing with it.
Yeah.
Wait, where is it in your house?
It's
Where is
full
it?
of stuff. It's just like a nice place to put vertical things, like tubes of posters and people hanging vertically, mummies, like, I don't know, lamps.
So Annabelle pulled a prank on her mother. You pulled a prank on Dairy Queen. Dave, you pull any good pranks?
Yeah, I mean, at camp, when I was at camp, you'd be a lot of pranks. I'm just remembering this one now, where we had a guy in our tent who was a narcoleptic.
Let's give him a name.
I'm going to call him Stu, but his name's not Stu, James.
Yep.
And so we're like, oh, we're going to mess with this narcoleptic guy. And we took him when he was sleeping, and he was very, obviously, heavy sleeper. And we put him on a barge, and then we pushed the barge into the lake. And then he woke up. He was in the middle of the lake, James.
What was his reaction?
Stu was upset.
Did you monitor him? That's kind of dangerous, right?
Yeah, we were watching, but Stu knew how to
it's bad
swim.
when the thief is calling you out.
Yeah, the thief with bodies in her garbage can.
Yeah, and other vertical things.
Another vertical thing. I used to, as a cadet, we did pranks like that too.
And then here's another one, camp one. You want another quick one?
Yeah.
Or
so we used to have to do these things called overnights, where I was a counselor. We would take our tent and go sleep in like one of the designated camping area instead of like the main tent next to the camp. You have to cook hot dogs on a flame, and we really didn't want to go. Everyone hated doing these overnights; they were a pain. So we went to the location, which was this teepee, and we didn't want to stay there, so we flooded the teepee. We filled it with water, and then we came back. We said we can't stay there. It rained, and the teepee's flooded. And then my girlfriend at the time was responsible.
Well, now let's give her a name.
We're going to call her Stu, who was responsible. It was her job to go fix the flooded teepee because she was the tripper in charge of those kinds of things. So she was complaining to me about how she had all this work to do, and I was like giggling to myself that like, yeah, I made her do all that extra work.
Now, did you ever confess?
No.
All right.
This is it.
This is the
It's
confession. Now,
happening now.
do you think it's possible that your ex-girlfriend Stu is watching this?
There's not a chance in hell.
All right, okay. I want to round things out. I want to talk about a prank. Now, Dave, I talked about this prank with you earlier this afternoon. I was at a wrestling show that I was performing on, and a friend of mine was there. She was there to see the show.
What's her name?
Let's just call her Stu.
Okay.
But there was also a performer on the show as well, and I had said to the performer, "Hey, my friend is here, and she really thinks you're attractive. So don't hesitate to, if you want to go talk to her, like, feel free." And his persona was like a ladies' man. He would get around. And after telling him that, I said to my friend, like, "Hey, just so you know, my other friend, he was saying how hot he thinks you are, but you can't talk to this guy. He's a deviant. He's a pervert. Don't spend any time talking to this guy." So I basically pitted both of these forces together for my own enjoyment. And then afterwards, the wrestler, we'll call him Stu as well, he was like, "Oh man, what? She's terrified of me. Like, I don't even know what I did." It was all my doing. So
Yeah.
these are all, I think what we're learning is they're all very mean-spirited pranks that we all pulled.
I got punished for pranks at cadets, where it was a bunch of us that pulled pranks on other cadets, but then I took the fall, and I had to load all of the kids, all of the cadets' kit bags back onto the bus in Chicago, and they all watched me from the bus.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, well, this might come in handy later on for another topic that's on the wheel, but I'm glad that we cleansed ourselves and we confessed to some of our past pranks. Dave, you ready to spin the wheel again?
Sure, yeah.
Well, let's do it. There's no time like the present.
Now I feel like a fool because it's still backwards.
That's fine, as long as you're reciting what's on there. Maybe this is it's a prank on the audience watching right now.
All right. This one's dumbest made-up guy from movies and or books.
All right, so this is one of Dave's topics.
What?
Made up characters from movies or books.
That are foolish.
Yeah. Annabelle, you want to start us off here?
No.
Now, this full disclosure, when me and Dave were talking about the topics earlier today, I was a little lukewarm on it, and when moments before getting on air, Dave mentioned he was going to put that one in, and I believe I said something to the effect of, "You really like that one, huh?"
Yeah.
So let's see how it shakes out. Annabelle, who are some of the most foolish characters in movies or books? TV characters not allowed.
Dumbest made-up guy, like dumbest character in a movie?
Fictional characters. Dave couldn't even really explain it that great either.
I got one.
Okay. What is it?
What about those guys from Dumb and Dumber?
Yeah, or Home Alone.
Oh, you mean the wet and or sticky bandits?
Hmm.
Yeah, they're pretty foolish.
I don't remember
Right.
Dumb and Dumber enough, but just the way that Jim Carrey looked would that be considered a nerd also? Or I don't remember the movie well
They're a
enough.
little nerdy. Oh, how about
I
this
don't know if
one?
he's nerdy though. Yeah, but
What about Encino Man?
oh, that's dumb. Definitely dumb.
Yeah.
I just rewatched that. Did not hold up.
No?
What about the Baldwin from Biodome?
Never
Pauly
saw that
Shore's
one.
sidekick character.
Mm.
So this is interesting. You're not even taking Pauly Shore.
No, his friend was more dumb.
All right, okay.
What about that guy?
Mm. Yeah.
Or
What
even
about him?
He's
the
pretty
Naked
stupid.
Gun guy. The Naked
No.
Gun guy?
Oh, Leslie Nielsen
Leslie
from
Nielsen.
the Naked Gun franchise.
You know, they're remaking The
Yeah.
Naked Gun. Did you know that?
No.
With Liam Neeson as the Leslie Nielsen character.
Really?
Yeah.
And it's a comedy?
Yeah.
Is
But
that an April Fool?
no, not an April Fool's. But I can see Liam Neeson. He has very good comedic timing. If you ever seen him in the Extras show with Ricky
That's true.
Gervais, he's very funny.
I'm gonna add the entire fictional family from the Tom Arnold movie, The Stupids.
Yeah.
Mr.
What about
Bean.
Police Academy?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, every character in. I'm also gonna add all of the nerds from Revenge of the Nerds.
Mm. How about Bernie from Weekend at Bernie's?
Yeah, that's a great choice.
He has nothing going on up there.
Yeah,
No.
that's a great choice.
I mean, no one said Forrest Gump yet.
No. It's funny.
I'm
all
not
these
saying
movies come
it.
from a certain, but they come from a certain era,
Yeah.
right? And we don't see those characters as much
Yeah.
anymore, I think.
Yeah, what about Ace Ventura?
He's not stupid. He's a detective.
He is a detective.
Is he foolish?
Yes, very
Alright.
foolish.
Every Jim Carrey character from the 90s.
Yeah.
Well, Truman. Although I suppose if he wasn't foolish, he would have known earlier that he was
Yeah.
on a show.
This is the worst topic in shows.
I don't know. I'm having a good conversation.
Marilyn, you want to add any others to the mix? We're just naming movie characters.
Yeah, but in a way it's great. It's just like it's like going down, being nostalgic about some of these old
That's
movies,
true.
but at the same time, what Annabelle just said is true. Like maybe they can't really make a lot of these movies. But I say this at the same time, in all of these teen movies, there's always a weird, dumb person. Like I don't know, this is not even that old. It's pretty old, like American Pie. There's always kind of like,
Sure.
in every kind of teen movie, there's somebody who's a bit off there.
Who's the dumb guy in American Pie? Sherman?
No,
the Shermanator, he's not dumb.
he's like the blonde guy.
Stifler?
Stifler?
Stifler, yeah, Stifler.
I don't know if he's dumb.
He's the jock. He's the jock
Yeah,
at the
he's
same
dumb.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, Stifler's kind of dumb. He does drink a semen beer.
Mm.
Yes, that's right. I remember his reaction.
Sleeman?
He gets peed on.
Sleeman, yeah.
He gets peed on in the movie.
And he's got Stifler's mom, right? Like people sleep with Stifler's mom.
Well, one person does.
Well, yeah, she's just sort of a sultry.
We're giving a lot of spoilers from American Pie here.
No, she's just sort of a sultry. They coined the phrase
mid-40s lady. Yeah.
Now, Dave, for people who don't know, MILF stands for
mother. I'd like to F, and the F stands for
cool.
Fuck.
Annabelle gave you a good out. It could have been mother. I'd like to fool around with.
Oh, that's true. But that would be Milau.
Cut this one off. We're going back to the wheel.
Wait! I just want to know what's a recent movie, like everything that we could come up with.
Any recent movie?
No, but that would have like a bit of a dumb character in it. Is there even in that lead?
I haven't seen a lot of movies. What about Kung Fu Panda? Is
Panda
foolish?
So the spy movie with Melissa McCarthy, me and my son watched that recently, and she's very silly and foolish, and it's very enjoyable to watch, actually.
There you go, Dave. Any others you want to add to the mix?
No, I think I've exhausted my cinematic knowledge.
Well, I'll say this, that I jokingly said that we couldn't do any TV characters, but the ultimate TV fool has got to go to Urkel. Steve Urkel.
But I also like Carlton. Is that his
Carlton's
name?
foolish, yeah. Now,
Pee-wee.
Oh, yeah, Pee Wee Herman. Yeah, he's foolish.
I don't know if he's childlike. I don't know if he's foolish.
Jack Black in that movie with Steve Zahn and Jason Biggs. Yeah, where Jason Biggs it's the classic late 90s, early 2000s premise where, like, fun, normal guys getting married to a real witch. And then, like, a fun lady comes in. Oh, how about Deuce Bigelow? He's foolish.
Oh, yeah, he's foolish. He's also
any Will Ferrell
gigolo.
Character too.
Yeah, any Will Ferrell character. Yeah, true. Let's go back to, we're just naming characters.
It's
here.
interesting. This is interesting.
This is a standalone episode. The biggest characters, the biggest fool characters in media history.
Wait, you upgraded?
Now it's a full episode.
Wow.
Yeah, I think this is a never-ending conversation.
All right, so it's a success.
Well, that's a nice upgrade for
There you
Dave's
go.
suggestion. Yeah.
There you go.
All right, I'm going to spin the wheel again, guys. Get
Episode's
ready.
going to be exclusive on our Patreon.
Homer Simpson is being pointed out.
Yes.
From
Going back to the
from
wheel.
Simpsons.
Yeah. We've landed on.
Here's another one of mine. Stupid foods.
I thought it was foolish foods.
No, these ones are stupid. I think everything was foolish. It was too much.
Well, that's the wheel of foolishness. No, we're talking about the most foolish foods. First one that comes to my mind, fruit by the foot. Fruit by the foot is one of the most foolish
Nah,
foods.
that's good. That's a good one. What are you talking about?
What's
Well, it's
fruit
good
by the foot?
You know what fruit by the foot
It's
is?
the long strip of fruit coagulated candy.
You get a wheel of gelatin, and then you peel it into a giant foot-long gelatin.
Yeah. But that's called fruit-along or something, right?
No, it's fruit by the foot.
Fruit by the foot.
But it's not a candy. See, that's the thing. It's a way to have kids, a fun way to eat fruit.
No, it's not.
It's full
It's
candy.
That's full candy.
You know, I'm another one I'm adding to the mix here, Dunkaroos.
It's not like a strip. Like Dunkaroos, I used to like a lot as a kid, but you'd always run out of icing before you ran out of cookies.
Dipped in icing.
Yeah, it's great. It's like having an Oreo, but you can control the portions.
What are those things called where you had a bit of like cheese and like little sticks?
Yeah, cracker and the baton.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a bit foolish, like as a kid, like, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, my little cheese thing.
Oh, how about this? Chicken nuggets shaped as dinosaurs.
No, that's cool, man. What are you talking about?
Not cool.
It's totally cool.
Did you know there's 4 shapes of chicken McNuggets? This was pointed out to me recently at a
In
McDonald's.
the world or like at McDonald's?
There's 4 basic shapes. You just put them. You can start stacking.
Yeah,
them.
well,
You'll
there's
see
the
it's
circle,
same.
the rectangle, the boot, and I don't know what the other one is.
Yeah, but if you start, like, if you order 10, you're gonna see them, the 4 different shapes. So, fun fact.
All right.
That is
I
fun.
know.
I like
They
that
take
fun
4
fact.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about some more foolish foods? Let's rapid fire these.
Like all these play on words, maybe with beers nowadays. I find, like, I can't name you one, but I feel that, there's a lot of like play on words. That's kind of like foolish. Sorry, I don't have a good example
Okay.
right now.
It's true. Yeah, I don't think I understand, but the explanation makes sense.
Yeah.
What about ants on a log?
Ants on a log.
What is
That's
that?
very interesting. So, ants on a log is peanut butter on celery with raisins.
Oh,
Is it foolish or is it undesirable?
I think it's
Kinda silly.
foolish.
Okay, well, that makes me think of any of those weird recipes from the 50s and 60s.
Yes.
With
Yes.
aspic. That was, I showed you some old
Mhm.
pictures of like that's some pretty intense like creations.
A lot
that
of gelatin-based desserts.
Mhm.
Jello is foolish.
Yeah, the
Jello's
gelatin
foolish.
wiggles too much to be taken
now
seriously.
what about this? Marilyn, do you think the pain sandwich could be added to foolish foods?
1,000%.
Now, Dave, let's hear your take on this.
It's a silly food. Too much cream cheese.
I liked it.
There's
Gross.
there's a foot-long cookie at Subway.
Oh, I'm gonna say this: a
foot
party sandwich is foolish.
What?
Yeah, like one of those giant party sandwiches.
Yeah, 12-foot sub.
Yeah, it sucks.
yes.
Wait, why does it suck or is it foolish?
It's foolish. Everyone
Why?
because it assumes everybody wants the same kind of sandwich.
Well, you can
That's
get
true.
what if the sandwich was made in 4 different feet?
What do you mean by that?
So like maybe the first 4 feet roast beef, second 4 feet turkey, after that chicken parm, followed by that meatball.
I mean, I suppose that's an intelligent take on a foolish food.
Or parties? That's an interesting one. Annabelle, more foolish foods.
Oh, I thought I was in there with the ants on a log.
No, we need
Yeah.
more.
Oh,
What about this?
marshmallows.
Rillette.
What's that?
Like pate.
Is that foolish?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bunch of stuff squished together.
I'm gonna throw one in here that I think might be the number one.
Okay.
Edible panties.
No, that's a sexy food, James.
Well, we discussed it on the show before. It's a little foolish though, because you're fooling around.
You're fooling around. That's true. That's
That's true.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever eaten a panty?
Dave,
true.
we know you like fruit by the foot.
Only after it's been worn a while.
Yeah, I can't say that I've had either the pleasure or displeasure of eating edible underpants. Marilyn?
Yeah, no, me neither.
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
I'm waiting for the edible boxers or briefs.
I
Only
like
panties.
Marilyn's answer, like it could have like ended up in her salad or something.
Well,
you
I
know?
want to tell you why, because I've been part of a lot of initiations. I played rugby for a number of years
Okay.
and been known to be pretty. So I had so many weird drinks. I've drank like, vinegar beer, hot beer with so much hot sauce. And like, I feel that could have been a thing that could have happened.
Well, you must be good at rugby.
Well, not anymore. And even back then, I wasn't really good. I like the third period, which is what they call when we hang out after and like drink and be silly, right? Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
maybe even a little bit foolish.
Oh,
Yeah, for sure. For
All right.
sure.
Well, I think we've exhausted, as Dave put it, stupid foods. I prefer foolish foods, both from a thematic standpoint, but also the alliteration. Dave,
I
let's
want
go
to
back.
add
Mhm.
candy necklaces, those
Yeah.
candy bracelets and necklaces. Those are pretty.
Well, it's interesting. We've selected only candies and children's treats, and one
edible
bedroom
underwear.
Oh,
And
party
one
sandwich
bed-
isn't a children's treat.
What's that, Dave?
Party sandwich isn't a children's treat.
That's true, but I said mostly.
You said
Okay.
only.
Did I
Yeah.
say only?
Yes.
Well, then I take it back. 2 against 1. All right, let's go back to the wheel.
All right, here we go.
Wonder if we'll land on another Dave topic.
I think that's it. They went pretty well, though.
Better than I anticipated.
Next is Biggest Fools.
The biggest fools. So this one's broad. Who do we consider to be some of the biggest fools? These can be people that we know in our personal lives. These can be coworkers. These can be celebrities, people in the public eye. The biggest, I'm going to throw one in right away. He's no longer with us. Former mayor of Toronto, Rob Ford.
I
Good
want
one.
to up you on this and say, come on, Donald Trump, but I don't want to talk about this guy too much, but what the hell?
I think there's a lot of political figures that people would
Yeah.
jump to put into the.
That's true, but
Biggest fools.
but I think the ones that are the biggest and most gregarious, like Mr. Ford and Mr. Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say there's a lot of leaders that you could question and
Maybe.
wonder.
Now, I have a question. Is there any other political figure that I think that those two are kind of on par with one another in terms of their outward foolishness? Is there any other political leader that would reach that level?
George Bush was made fun of constantly.
Right, but
Yeah.
if you put him into, that's like comparing a modern athlete to someone from the 1950s. They've gotten more foolish as times goes on. Do they still?
That's
Would they
true.
compete still? Like, would George Bush put in that circle? Would he look like a genius, or would he still be considered a fool?
But I think he had enough memeable or viral faux pas to come out.
Sure.
Like when he talked about how they're going to defeat terrorists, and then he's like, Now watch his shot. And then he like putts his golf ball.
Sure. Or when he tries to leave and he can't open the door and he tries for
Or
something.
a guy threw a shoe at him in a press conference.
But like even his dad was made fun of too when he was president,
He
right? Like
threw up
I
on,
remember
he threw up
yeah,
on a Japanese political figure.
yeah, and Dana Carvey did a whole thing on it in Saturday Night Live.
Gerald Ford used to fall all the time.
What'd
Who
you call
fell
him?
off the Segway? It was the son, George Bush. Yes, I don't remember who fell off.
He
the
fell on a
Segway.
Segway.
Okay. Also, the guy who designed the Segway died on a Segway.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh yes, all these people from Darwin Awards are like pretty big. You know
Yeah.
what?
I'll let
Pretty
them rest in
big.
peace, Marilyn.
Yeah. Sorry.
Well, in fairness, I began with someone who's no longer with us. Well, Dave, who are you throwing into the mix?
The biggest fools?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
I want to add something while you're thinking, Dave. A lot of these cult leaders, like I'm thinking here in Quebec, we had Rael.
Oh yeah, the aliens, sure.
But in a way, like, but it's mostly his followers that are foolish. But the whole character, I don't know if you see who I'm talking about, but he had a little bun. It was all like alien related stories. Like, that's pretty intense.
You know what? I'm going to stick on the theme that Marilyn brought up. People from Quebec. I'm going to throw into the mix the Potin de Niaiserie guy. I'm putting him on my list.
Who's that, James?
Oh, this was a viral Quebec video where he was talking about like the drinks that this guy was being interviewed in a bar. He's like Corona, whatever, Budweiser, Potin de Niaiserie. Basically,
Heineken, tequila, pas le temps de niaiser. He was kicked out of a bar on Saint Laurent, and then he proceeded to say this, and it got pretty viral because he was filmed. And it ends with like, "Do you know who my dad is?" Hey, mon père, il est connu.
Yeah.
Good one.
Yeah, he's on my list.
We also have this Kevin guy. There's another viral video in Quebec that's called Bonne Fête, Kevin. And it's just like a bunch of these people were at some Molson X party, and everybody is like talking about this Kevin guy. That's pretty silly too.
Yeah, I like that we're keeping it homegrown right now.
Would you say that there's anyone who like maybe owns something that would make them kind of a fool, right? Like I'm thinking like certain types of cars or
That's
like because
interesting.
I do have like passing judgment of those cars that are rather big or ostentatious.
Well, do you mean like someone driving around in like a Batmobile or a DeLorean?
Or like a Hummer or something? Like I often feel like what's going on with that person?
Like a golden car. Somebody in my hood has like a Harlequin car, so it's a bunch of like colored triangles on it. Eyelashes on cars.
So basically people that put novelties on their cars are on the biggest fools list.
Well, yeah.
I would say like the vanity plates can get pretty bad sometimes. Yeah.
There's someone who parks outside my daughter's daycare, and their license plate is just fameux.
Maybe they work at the diner of the same name on Saint Denis and Royal.
Could be.
Like fameux written properly, Famaux, like fameux, like.
Yeah.
Oh. I saw in the streets of Montreal, my favorite ones is an F-150 had an F-150. I saw 123, and I saw noise, N-O.
That's
I have a
cool.
few pictures of those, but yeah, those are like.
I do too.
Okay, well, I want to pivot here for a second. The three of you are drivers with cars. What would your vanity plate be? Dave, what would your vanity plate be?
Oh, man. What about Dad of the Year?
I think that's too many characters.
But it would just be the acronym.
Yeah.
Dottie?
Dottie.
Why?
Yeah.
Dottie, okay. Marilyn, what would your novelty plate be?
Well, I love what you said earlier. I'm going for this new nickname, Spill Tea.
Mm-hmm.
What about Mrs. T? What about Miss T?
Well, spill, which is the tea.
Yeah, I like Spill Tea. It seems more like a novelty plate. Annabelle, let's go to you.
I don't have anything clever.
Doesn't have to be.
it would
Dave's
just
was
probably
not
be-
clever at all.
Well, I disagree, James.
It was way more clever than mine. I was just thinking of something like related to my business. So
Yeah, like click.
Click's good.
All right. Do we
Yeah,
want to add
okay.
any final?
Cheese is good too.
Any
Cheese with a Z.
final fools? Do we want to add to this list?
You know, I don't like being mean to anybody.
Mascots.
Oh, we won't touch on that. Dave, let's go to you.
About what?
Biggest fool.
You know, nothing comes to mind right now. I'm in the middle of the episode. I'm gonna yell out something.
But I really find like mostly when I'm thinking about this, I'm thinking like Bonhomme Carnaval also because he looks so old. You know, that mascot is just so old and his face is all like, you know, popcorn ceiling. It's just also like in a way, I'm just surprised that that's still a thing. That doesn't it scare kids away? You know what I mean? Because now, like
he also talks. He does talk.
And
Bonhomme
he's
Carnaval.
Scary.
Yes.
He sounds scary, right? Because it's kind of like almost Darth Vader-ish.
Yeah. Hello, les enfants. I'd like to get Bonhomme Carnaval on the show.
Oh well.
Well, something to look forward
I will say
to.
that my kids liked mascots. Like Tommy definitely ran up and hugged one day. I can't remember where we were, but it was very funny.
People do like them. That's true.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next topic.
It's all right. P. Diddy's a bit of a fool.
Yeah, that's one way to describe.
So I've heard. Faux pas.
All right. Have we committed any faux pas that we felt foolish about? Did we say something at the wrong time? Did we put our foot in our mouth? Annabelle, you just recoiled and went, ugh.
I don't have anything that I can think of. I know I have done it though.
I got one that I can start us off.
All right, Dave. Yeah, we'll speak our truths.
So I used to drive along Dr. Penfield to get to work, which passes part of McGill campus, and there's a no stopping lane. And one day somebody had stopped there, and I was behind them, and I was annoyed because I was trying to get to work. So I started honking at this guy. And they didn't move, and then so I was annoyed, and then as I'm honking at the guy, the door opens, and a couple of crutches come out, and a guy with a broken leg starts limping out of the car, who had stopped in front of the building for him, and I immediately stopped honking, and I felt a little bit embarrassed.
Okay, I think it's good that we're exercising these. I think this should kind of cleanse our jangled nerves. I want to throw one into the mix. I was at an event, like a little kind of like party shindig.
Let's just call it Stu.
Yeah, we'll call it Stu. Yeah, it's Stu's birthday, and it was at one of those trampoline parks. And I was on the jousting. I don't know what you would call it, above the jousting pit, jousting someone, and I had fallen into the foam cubes, and a little kid dove in to like rescue me because I was having a hard time getting out. And then when we got back on the platform, I jokingly threw the little kid into the foam pit, and then he began crying. I betrayed his trust, and I felt that was a faux pas, I think.
That was mean.
It was, yeah. It wasn't because after I threw him in, I dove in as well, and then it took him a second to recognize I've been betrayed.
Hey, why did this little kid need to help you out of the ball pit?
Well, it was like a nice gesture, like I'll help you.
Oh, symbolic.
Yeah, and you know that was one of those moments where it's like, oh, certain ages of children don't quite understand nuance yet.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The children's section.
Yeah. Marilyn, let's go to you. Faux pas.
Yeah, I think I have a similar story. Like I go and visit like a neighbor not far, and one day I usually talk to the dad. Like I mean we anyways do business together, but he wasn't there one day, and the mother was there. But oh no, the daughter came and opened the door first, and he was like, "Oh, my dad's not here." And I'm like, "Oh, is your mother here?" And she's like, "Yeah, but she doesn't know. She doesn't know how it works." And I'm like, oh, I'm sure your mom knows. Please, I'd like to talk to your mom. But I really was like, kind of, but I also thought this kid's attitude was just so intense, you know? So I really told her off, like, no, go get your mom, please. And since then, like, I mean, she comes and checks, and when it's me, she just like runs back, runs off.
I thought this was going to end with the little girl saying, "My mom is in heaven."
Yeah, me too.
Oh, wow.
I thought it was going that way. Yeah, Annabelle, let's go to you. This topic seems like it's scaring you.
Oh, I'm just like thinking. I have like different. I'm just remembering a few things. There was one time where, when I was a kid, I was walking with my friends to dance class after school, and we were walking in a certain order. I was like, "Oh, hey, look at that! We're walking in order." And I was like, "So and so's really skinny. I'm in the middle, and this person's really fat." And I was like, "It's so dumb and so terrible." I didn't even think about it. It was so awful. They were both really upset with me.
I have the same story where we went bungee jumping as a group and we had to be ordered in like weight. And I told somebody, hey, come over here. And I was just like, that didn't go down too well.
I could see you doing that.
Well, thanks. And if there's another, it just makes me remember one really foolish thing. I thought I had seen somebody at the end of the sidewalk that I knew. I was in high school, and I really ran towards them. And then as I got closer again, realized I didn't know this person. So just kept running next to them, but felt really stupid because I was like, hey, I think probably yelling and talking the whole time. And then had to keep going because that was very embarrassing.
Wow. Dave, have you made fun of anyone's appearance?
No, I don't enjoy or partake in that type of humor.
You and I both.
But for me, I wasn't making fun. I was merely observing, and that's why I felt so bad, because it was like zero intention, and I was 12. Like, I was not.
Well, that's why these are faux pas. A faux pas, it is never the intent. Otherwise, you're saying things that we've done that are mean. This is generally accident-based things.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. And also naming people that you think are in a relationship. Like, sometimes I don't know. Like, oh, you guys work together, or, you know, I've never said to somebody, oh, how long have you been? But, oh, you two work together, and then suddenly, no, they're on a date, and then you're just like, oh, I didn't want to go there, but I said the wrong thing because they had to justify that or something, right?
Oh, I've done that to many people on stage at shows. Is this a date?
Oh,
yeah. As a photographer, I put like family portraits together, and sometimes I have made like brothers and sisters look like a couple. I'm like, okay, hold each other's hand or whatever, and like be close to each other. Like, we're related. And I didn't know, you know.
You're forcing really romantic love on people.
That's what happened with the Jolies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next topic as time begins to wind down. We're speeding through, thanks to all the time we spent on dumbest movie characters.
Great topic. Inspired the most conversation.
Well, we've still got a handful here.
We've landed on silly songs.
Silly songs. Annabelle, let's start with you. Songs that we deem to be silly. You know what? I'll get it started here. What about Yakety Yak, Don't Talk Back?
Yes. I was
that song
say that.
is silly.
And
it sounds silly, too. The musicality of it is silly.
I want to throw this in here. We can't pick kid songs because we recognize those are silly in nature. These are real songs that are they're to the ear silly sounding.
And I imagine that we can't pick parodies either.
Cannot pick. Yeah, it can't be Eat It by Weird Al is off the board. These are just silly songs. Silly songs.
There was a song I heard on the radio the other day in the car, and I was talking to my daughter about it, and I was like, this is the dumbest song I think I've ever heard, where the guy was like, I wish I could hate you for breaking up with me. I wish I could hate you. Something like that. It was the lyrics were terrible.
But is it silly?
It felt really silly.
You know what's a silly song?
The Barbie Thong Song.
Thong Song is very silly. I'm throwing Thong song's great. I'm putting I'm a Barbie Girl into the mix.
Thong song. That's let me see that thong.
Yeah.
As opposed to what?
Blue da da dee da da da.
What about this?
We were talking about that song earlier today.
Yeah, I thought it was I'm blue. If I was green, I would die. But it's not. It's dabba dee dabba die.
Yeah, that's a silly song. Dave, silly songs.
Maybe Who Let the Dogs Out?
Oh, yeah. That's a super maybe the silliest. That one might take the cake.
Yeah.
What about the Shaggy song? A little bit of is that it?
No, that's Mambo number
You're
5.
thinking of Lou
Mambo
Bega.
number 5.
There was a lot of silly songs in the late 90s.
There was.
A lot of really silly songs.
The Scat Man.
Oh, Babu Babadoo.
Right.
Yeah, that's another. This might be another full topic. The silliest songs of the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Scatman, that song about a Scatman.
I'm gonna put a Christmas song in the mix here. All I want for Christmas is my 2 front teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Very silly.
My parents used to sing that to me when both my front teeth were missing, and I cried every time because I thought that that's what I was going to get for Christmas.
Oh.
Wow. How old were you? Was this before or after you made fun of someone's weight?
How old was I when I was missing my 2 front teeth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what, 4, 5, maybe?
Because, some of us have lost our 2 front teeth in accidents, Annabelle.
Yeah.
I see. Okay,
So you wouldn't want to do another body shaming.
Now, Dave, you had a missing front tooth, right?
Both my front teeth are fake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair. Good
They're
point.
crowns.
You get a new pair for Christmas?
I do need to get a new pair, but it's not going to be for Christmas. It's going to come out of my own pocketbook.
You know what? I'm going to put that LFO song, The Girls of Summer. That's a silly song.
Girls of Summer.
Isn't that what it is?
Isn't it Boys of Summer?
No, the LFO song, Chinese food makes me sick.
That's Summer Girl.
So okay, I was way off.
James, it's
Well,
not
that makes
Girls
me
of
think
Summer.
of Toto, though, Down Under.
Wait, that's Men Without Hats.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
Toto's
a silly
Africa.
song.
Oh, yes.
Toto's Africa.
But
Yeah,
it's the other one.
Yeah,
Down
yeah.
Under.
Do you come from a land down under?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a very silly song. Now what about She Blinded Me with Science?
That's a very silly song.
Yeah.
And what boom boom, like Ibiza girls, or boom boom boom, I want you in my
Well, that's the
room.
Venga Boys.
Yeah.
What
Marilyn's
do I
all
call
over
them?
the place
Ibiza
here.
And that's but the Venga Bus might be a sillier song than Boom Boom Boom.
Oh, I don't recall that one. Please
That one
give-
goes it's the Venga Bus is coming and everybody's running.
Yeah, didn't they
New
use
York
the
to San
instrumental for
Francisco.
Six Flags?
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh,
We like
yes.
to party.
Yeah.
We like to party.
I have to say, these are a lot of really good, silly songs. The 80s had a lot of very silly songs, too.
But, isn't that interesting? Because when we were going through the other foolish topic, it was all around the same time, too. It's like
True.
a foolish time.
Are you suggesting
Yeah,
that
it
things
was.
have become less foolish as time's gone on?
I think so, for sure.
Or maybe
Yeah.
for us, because we have gotten older.
It's true.
No, I think the world needs to bring back some of this foolishness.
I think
I
so,
think it would
too.
do us all some good. Something to focus on instead of hating each other, we can hate these foolish people.
Yeah.
Any final foolish songs that we want to add to the mix?
Macarena.
Macarena's pretty foolish. What are the achy breaky heart?
Yes.
Who's that? Billy Ray Cyrus?
Yes.
Oh no, it's the Venga Boys.
Okay.
Let's go back to the wheel. We got time for one more.
I want to say the Achy Bakey Dance, the Quebecois version. Have you ever listened to that one, James?
I have, and not in an extremely long time. Oh, you know who else is maybe got a couple foolish songs? Is Les Bougalous.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Mr.
Bougalous.
Cannibal.
Yeah. What have we landed on, Dave?
We haven't spun yet.
Oh, I thought we spun.
No, we had a little aside, so
I
I
can continue.
We waited.
Compagnie Créole is also a nice.
but
I
now we're
don't
not
know
even
that
on the
one.
screen anymore, Marilyn.
Okay,
we're,
well.
we're on the wheel.
We can still talk while the
Okay.
wheel spins. We
All
have got time for one more here.
Okay, Marilyn, I cut you off. I apologize.
No, it's okay. I don't know if any of you know La Compagnie Créole, but I can't even name a song right now, so sorry.
No.
All right, this last one is Foolish Feelings
All right.
Which means we won't be talking about embarrassing moments.
Well, we did talk about faux pas, so at least we got that in there.
Yeah.
Now, moments in which our feelings have made us feel a little bit foolish. Wasn't expecting that round of applause. So this, I feel like it's almost in tandem, right? Foolish feelings. Dave, why don't we start with you?
I'm thinking.
Well, I'll throw one right off the hop right here.
Sure.
The year was 2010. The Montreal Canadiens are halfway into a playoff run. They make it to the conference finals where they lose to the Philadelphia Flyers in 5 games. The game ends. I go out to my front porch. I'm sitting in silence looking out to the stars, and then I just begin feeling tears running down my cheeks. It was really, I don't regret it, but it was a great run. It was a hell of a run.
It's kind of impressive that the intensity of that game brought you to tears. Like, I kind of admire that in a way.
They were on this Cinderella run. They snuck into the playoffs. They beat the number 1 seeded Washington Capitals. Then they beat the returning champion Pittsburgh Penguins. They run into the Philadelphia Flyers, and I was like, "Oh, they'll come back. Of course they're going to come back." It was really hard. Really, really hard.
Yeah, I vaguely remember
cried,
that
you said?
time.
I did cry. Yeah. I did cry.
I cry a lot when I watch stupid, all sorts of movies. I'm kind of embarrassed I cry for TV. So
yeah.
Some people cry.
My kids
at
always look
commercials
at me
now.
and they're like always waiting for me to cry. They just know that I'm gonna cry.
Now, is there like a theme in a movie that will create this feeling? Like, is it like a family thing or a death thing or is it just anything in a movie, any emotional aspect of a movie?
I'll tell you what, any animal dying
any
in a movie,
emotional aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's any strong moment of revelation of feeling or where there's a monologue that's really poignant. How do you say that?
Yeah.
Poignant.
Poignant.
Yeah. Foolish feeling. I mean, crushes when I was a kid. Some of those painful, thinking back at how much I liked certain people that I never talked to.
Hey, didn't you say there was a Bryan Adams song that made you think of a boy?
Yes, that story.
Let's just call him Stu.
Yeah, his name was Stu, except his name was very distinctive, and I
Stuart.
wrote about. Yeah, and I wrote about it one day on a forum years and years later. There was some kind of weird.
Is it
question.
4chan?
No, just in the blogging.
Was it 2+2 the poker forum?
No, I don't know what the forum was, except that his wife found it, and then she replied to it later. I found it years later.
You're crossing seams here with embarrassing moments and faux
It's
pas.
just so embarrassing. I was just oh my God, I can't believe that. I didn't know what the internet was at the time when I wrote it. I didn't know that it would have legs or glass out there. That he lives in New Zealand now. It's just one of the married to someone.
Did you write under your own pen name, or was it?
I think it was just me writing. Yeah, I don't think it was anything mass about it.
This is incredible. Marilyn, you got any other foolish feelings?
Yeah, probably things like Annabelle. I remember being friends with the sister of a crush, and I would write a diary, and I think she read it, and that was pretty embarrassing. Or something like that, yeah.
Dave, you've yet to give any.
Foolish feelings.
Come on, speak your truth.
I get nervous around tax season. Not that I have anything to hide, but it's always a little bit stressful.
That's a cop-out answer. Everyone gets a little nervous.
No, I think
to be
that
nervous.
Is valid.
Yeah, but hold on. Being nervous around tax season is not a foolish feeling.
Yeah, it's foolish. Everything's gonna be fine.
What a crappy answer.
Well, I have other answers, James.
What are they?
If you want to hear them.
Yeah.
All right.
What's this one gonna be? What's this one gonna be?
I'm thinking, James.
I know some.
You know what? Dave. I want to out a Dave foolish feeling.
I don't know about that, James. That doesn't seem nice.
I promise. I promise it's nothing serious.
All right.
The year is 2018.
Okay.
Is it hockey related?
No, we're all coming.
Hockey.
Okay.
We're all coming off of an improv show in which a winner is declared. Dave's team won. After the show, he's dismayed and tells me, quote, "Nobody likes what I like." That was a foolish feeling.
Sure, yeah.
Wait. I don't understand. You won, and then you decided nobody liked.
It wasn't. I mean, this is 6 years ago now.
Sounds like.
Yeah, it wasn't that I feel like I can't even explain this really.
Is it because things that you were trying to do in the scene, you didn't feel that people connected to the thing?
It was probably something like that, or maybe the improv wasn't the style that I happened to like. But who cares?
That's the correct answer.
Yeah.
Right, and you still won, but you didn't win for the reasons you wanted to win.
Probably.
And nobody liked what he liked.
Nobody liked what I liked. Yeah, there's all sorts of
I
stuff
have
like
seen
that.
other people come off on stage and say the same thing. Like, the people were laughing, but I don't like it. Yeah, like, not for the reasons I wanted to be.
But I think that's a valid one where it's like, you know that you can achieve excellence or greatness, where Dave was saying that none of his peers likes what he likes.
I've got great taste, though, James.
There's no one said you didn't, but I do
know.
think
so if they don't like what I like, then there's something wrong with them.
I talked about crying on my porch.
Yeah. I feel like that was a foolish feeling.
That's what we all gave foolish feelings.
Yeah, there you
go. Coming in from the chat from another legend, Boss Fracture, welcome back. Quote, Big Mood Dave. That could be your license plate.
Yeah.
Big Mood Dave.
BMD.
Well, I think it's good that the remaining one was embarrassing moments, because I think a lot of these foolish feelings also double as embarrassing, but it also dates back to our faux pas topic earlier on.
It kind of all worked out, James.
Yeah, there was a lot more sentiments here than I expected tonight. I feel like we all sort of like exercised some thoughts that were in our brains.
Sure. It's like free therapy.
Yeah. Marilyn, final thoughts?
Yeah. I enjoyed it. I think we went back in time. We reminded ourselves some real old memories. It's quite silly, quite foolish.
Yeah, it was, yeah. Annabelle, final thoughts?
Yeah, I feel like that was the tip of a lot of foolishness in my life.
I wonder if that guy's wife
memory.
is watching this episode now. She's going to message you after. You're still talking about it.
I hope she feels foolish for writing on that forum.
It sounds
she was like, "Oh yeah, well I married him." So
is that what she said?
Like, yes.
Wow, this is incredible.
Yeah.
Dave, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Well, looking back on this episode, James, I think it's important to remember that we all feel like fools sometimes, and there's nothing wrong with it. So, after you feel like a fool, pull your pants up and keep on walking.
Oh, man. All right, I'm not going to top that.
Has anyone ever been pantsed?
Yeah, I've been pantsed all the way.
I've been pantsed.
I have too. Yeah.
Marilyn, you?
No.
Not yet.
What, the way you told it? Like, people brought your pants down? Like
all the way to the ankles.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody saw
that
everything.
happened to me too. Yeah.
Did they get underwear on you guys?
Mine got pulled down.
Oh no, I think mine were on still.
Oh, I'll tell you what. Hearing that, I'm like, you didn't get pants.
I fully did in front of at least 20 kids in the neighborhood.
Mine was pulled down in front of a locker room of people, including women.
Schoolyard over here.
Yeah.
How old were you, Dave?
It's in grade 4.
Yeah, it's easy to recover. Annabelle, how old were you?
Grade 7.
I was like 18.
Yeah, that's
a rough
that's
age
later.
to get pantsed.
Yes. Yeah.
But
I don't think they do that anymore.
Yeah,
Dave,
was it a bit bullying, or was it a joke that went bad?
It's just a prank. Just a prank. But Dave, as you said it best to round it out, what did I do?
pulled his pants up.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Marilyn.
Oh,
That's the
right.
correct answer. Folks, that's our show tonight. We will be back in a week from tonight for episode 479. Until then, I am James. You are you. We were here. Good night. Goodbye. Farewell. And of course, be well.